Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. I'm your host, Ringo. We're back with another one. In the news, Halle Bailey pretty much gets a restraining order against rapper DDG, alleging violence and fear for their baby. You know, it's amazing how I covered the story of these two loved birds a long time ago. And I told you guys that they were going to break up. I told you guys that the relationship was not going to work because of various issues. And now this woman went out and got a restraining order against this guy to the point where he can't even see his child. And what this speaks of is the fact that in today's days, relationships just don't work. I mean, people start off, oh, they're so happy. I just so love this. And wow, they're so cute together. And oh my goodness. Now look at it. If you go back to my older videos, I talked about all of this, guys. Let me see if I can pull up some receipts of this. Give me a minute. Let me see. Because I know I talked about these things already on the platform. And I gave y'all all the scoop, all the tea. I broke down all the information. And it didn't end well. Because everything that I said came to pass, guys. Everything I told you has now come to pass. Let me see what videos I made on the topic, if any. Let's see. So 1 year ago, Halle Bailey pregnant out of wedlock by DDG, right? And Pookie. And then we have another one, Halle Bailey blood sacrifice ritual by DDG at Angel of Light. So let me put this on the screen because maybe you want to go tune into it. Maybe you wouldn't hear what I had to say. So let me put this on the screen. Give me a minute. Let me get this. I have to make this clear because, you know, I talk about these things all the time and people keep getting mad at me. I told y'all about these two. I told you that it wasn't going to work. I told you that their relationship was going to fall apart. And people was like, you're hating, you're this, you're that. No, not hating, guys. I could just see into you know, what's going on in people's lives. So let's see what we got. Let me put this on the screen real quick so that you could check these videos out on your own leisure time. Right? So, okay. So these are the videos that I did a year ago, a year or so ago, right? These two videos, right? I did the video when Halle Bailey got pregnant out of wedlock. And I already knew it was a bad look. I already knew it was bad news. Everybody keeps singing the praises of Halle Bailey and whatnot. But now the truth is coming out. We're seeing the truth. We also did a video where we talked about when DDG took her to Angel of Light. And it was like a satanic place. And I was like, wow, this don't look good. And we talked about that too. So check out those videos when you have time because you'll hear me talk about similar issues. Now, let's get into the content. Make sure you hit that like button as well. So we got an article that I'm going to read from. I want to talk about this. It's on CNN. And it pretty much says, Halle Bailey gets restraining order against rapper DDG, alleging violence, fear for their baby. It goes on and it says a Los Angeles judge has granted a restraining order against the Little Mermaid actor and singer Halle Bailey, who says her ex-boyfriend, the rapper and YouTuber DDG, has been repeatedly violent with her, and she fears for herself and the baby they have together. The judge on Tuesday ordered DDG, whose legal name is Darrell Dwayne Granberry Jr., to stay away from Bailey and their 17-month-old son, Halo, until a June 6 hearing, the Associated Press reported. Throughout our relationship, Bailey said in a document requesting the order, Daryl has been and continues to be physically, verbally, and emotionally, financially abusive towards me. I am seeking orders to protect myself and our son Halo from his ongoing abuse. Now, let's park the car there for a minute and kind of just talk about the situation, because this is bad. It's bad on all fronts, because they had a son together, and now it's at a point where he don't even have access to his own son. He don't even have access to his boy, guys. This is how black men get treated in America. They get treated like a second class, or I can't even say second class, an eighth class citizen. They get treated like a dog, and the woman get all of the benefits. You can have children with a woman, and the courts would just favor the woman over you automatically. And this is why a lot of guys opt out of marriage, they opt out of dating, and they just be on a pump and dump rampage out here, because we see these stories all the time, man. And it doesn't matter how much money you got. Look, ladies, I know a lot of you ladies, you get mad at me because I speak the truth and I'm very bold, right? Even the brothers get mad at me when I hold them accountable. But we gotta now stop talking about how much money a man got. Oh, if I'm gonna date a man, he gotta make 6 figures. Well, DDG makes millions, right? He makes millions. Halle Bailey got money too. So you can have all the money in the world and your relationship is still in the gutter. It doesn't matter how much money you got. That don't mean nothing. I don't know why everybody keep focusing on how much money somebody got in order for them to date them. Y'all are so wrong, and y'all missing out on opportunities with good people because you judge everybody by money. These two got money, but their relationship sucks. You understand? Money don't make relationships stay together, guys. You know, it don't. If anything, money just amplifies your problems. So if you got a bad relationship, your money will amplify the problems. If you have a drug problem, money will amplify your habits. If you're a sexual deviant, money will make you buy Diddy oil. Do you understand? Money will make you have freak-offs. That's why Diddy does the freak-offs, because he got money. You can't do freak-off parties if you broke. You can't hire strippers if you're broke. You see what I mean? So now, let's get back to the content. They're basically telling DDG that he can't come around Miss Bailey or his own son. It says the judge on Tuesday ordered DDG, whose legal name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., to stay away from Bailey and their 17-month-old son, Halo, until June 6th hearing. So basically, there's supposed to be a hearing on June 6th, and I guess it's supposed to determine the fate of this brother and Miss Bailey concerning the child, determine on who gets custody. But now, it's quoted that Bailey said, throughout our relationships. Now notice this, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you thought that Bailey and DDG was this great couple, this great young couple. I'm so happy for them, a lot of you said. But now notice what Bailey said. Throughout our relationship. Sounds like throughout the relationship. So while everybody thought they were happy, they were not. Well, at least she was not, which means she was being fake to the public. It says, throughout our relationship, Bailey said in documents requesting the order, Daryl has been and continues to be physically, verbally, emotionally, and financially abusive towards me. That's a lot to say. Those are a lot of allegations right there. That's crazy, man. That is really, really sick, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. Somebody in the chat says, yo, fam, that's not her real name. She copied Halle Bailey off of Halle Berry. Shaking my head to get more attention for fame. Shaking my head. It's similar to how whatever that guy name is copied his name from, I know the artist's name. Yeah. Well, I'm just going by whatever her name is. If it's Halle Bailey, then it's Halle Bailey. I'm not just going to go by what you said because you said it. You would have to provide documents on that. You know what I'm saying? Got to provide documents, sir. You know what I mean? Got to provide documents when you say certain things. Because there's a lot of people that have similar names, but you got to provide documents to substantiate your points, or else it's just an opinion. So now, moving on to the content. Basically, she said that Daryl been physically, so that means he been putting hands on her. So she's saying that he been beating her. So in so many words, Miss Bailey is saying that DDG been physically violent and beating her. And this is not cool. It's not cool, guys. You know, verbally, which means he be cussing her out, belittling her, telling her she ain't nothing. At least that's what I'm assuming, because if you're being verbally abused, it's really never nothing nice. Emotionally drained, okay, and financial abuse. Now, I don't understand what she mean by financially, because they both supposed to have money. So how could he financially abuse you unless she's saying he ain't doing nothing for his boy? Or she's not receiving any money. And this is what's so sad, man. Everybody's making money, but they still focusing on money. And this is why most men, ladies, don't want to get married. It's because of stuff like this. When we see these kind of stories, guys are like, look, I'm not getting married, bro. I'm just going to stay single and just pump and dump, do what I do, sleep around with whatever woman, just kind of kick it. But I'm never getting married, dog. I don't want to ever go through stuff like this. And I can't blame them, because we see stories like this every day, and it sucks. You would have thought that this young lady would have settled down, did the right thing, but no, she's just like everybody else. Once they have the baby, and I tell you this all the time, guys, if you go back to my videos where I talk about dating and relationships, I always say, once the woman have the baby, she switches up. Once she has the baby, she will switch up on you. All of a sudden now you ain't ish. All of a sudden you're the dirt bag, you're the abuser, you're the demon, and she's the victim. I tell you this all the time. Y'all don't be listening to me, man. And I don't get the credit I deserve. Listen, guys, anytime I talk about these videos, everybody else will start talking about these same videos, and they'll start to regurgitate all the same content, all the same talking points that I've already put out there in the algorithm, guys. When you see content creators talking about these stories and you hear my talking points, go into the comments and tell all the viewers, all the people in comments, y'all just go on to Ringo TV, because he's the source. That's where everybody go to. A lot of these content creators watch me in the clouds, right? So now, let's get back to the content. So she had these allegations on him of abuse, verbal abuse, financial abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, all this other stuff. It goes on in the message and it says, a message seeking comment from a representative for Granbury was not immediately answered. Bailey, 25, and Granbury, 27, were in a relationship from 2022 until late last year. And since their breakup, there have been multiple acts of physical violence, Bailey said. So basically, she's telling the world that DDG has been beating her. So now this is not a good look on his career, because normally when women put these allegations out there, it can affect you. It can affect you greatly. You know what I mean? It can really, really mess you up. So that's not the jacket you want to wear. You don't want to wear that jacket of beating women, because a lot of people are being accused of beating women. If you really think about all the stories that we're covering, we're covering the Tory Lanez story. We got another video that we got to talk about later with that case, because they need to free that man. That's an innocent man that's locked up. You know what I mean? His case involves a shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, which he did not do, by the way. I told you this, guys, in videos, that he did not shoot that woman. I was correct on that. We have another situation with Diddy, the diddler, right, where he pretty much did, in fact, abuse and beat Cassie in the hall. We have that situation. We have DDG here being accused of physical violence on Halle Bailey. So it's like a lot of these situations, you know, we had the Chris Brown situation back in the day. So it's like everybody's being charged with attacking and beating women, right? So it's getting very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. So it goes on and it says that she pretty much experienced multiple acts of physical violence, Bailey said. In a January incident that she recounts in detail, Bailey and Granberry was repeatedly calling her a bitch as she tried to strap the baby into a seat inside his car. So I guess that would be the verbal abuse, right? It goes on and says, the next thing I knew, things got physical between us, Bailey said in the documents. We fought each other, wrestling, and tussling. At one point, Daryl was pulling my hair. He then slammed my face on the steering wheel, causing my tooth to get chipped. Wow. Man. Now, I don't know, guys, but this is not looking good for DDG. Because if these allegations are true and there's receipts on this, it can be bad. It can be very, very bad. Salute V-Dub in the building. What's going on, bro? And shout out to Mason for the support. Let me see. You said DJ Academics called this half a year ago. If they can't make you out to be a deadbeat, then they'll say you're an abuser to take away the children. Well, this is normal. What happened to a lot of black men. A lot of black men go through this type of stuff. And you know, there's a lot of truth to that. If they can't, make you out, I guess take you down, they're going to call you an abuser of women, because that normally always gets them. It gets the court of public opinion to throw you and drag you around. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see women dragging DDG soon over this situation. And he probably was a great father to his son and doing everything he possibly can. You know what I mean? And they will never acknowledge the role he played as a father. They'll just look at the things that she say in terms of, oh yeah, he's abusing me and he's doing this and he's doing that. But what about her? What about the things she do? Nobody talks about that. What about her verbal abuse towards him? See, nobody gonna talk about that because, again, women are always innocent. They never do anything wrong, remember? Women are never wrong, guys. We are the problem all the time. And that's just the issue. It's always one-sided and always been that way. It sucks. But this is why most guys opt out of marriage. Now, fortunately for some of us brothers, we were able to settle down because the women we got with are more civilized and understanding of family. Unfortunately, most people in today's day are not. They don't know nothing about what it means to be together and raising kids. They don't know nothing about that. It's a sacrifice, man, a lot of work. So it goes on and it talks about how the next thing I knew, things got physical between us. Bailey said in the documents, we fought each other, wrestling and tussling. At one point, Daryl was pulling my hair. This is what she says. Now, I don't know if it's her natural hair or it's a weave, You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a weave, it's not her hair. It's a weave. She should have said he was pulling my weave. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I got to be politically correct. If it's a weave, it's not her hair, right? So he was pulling my hair. Then he slammed my face on the steering wheel, causing my tooth to get chipped. Now, if that's true, did she call the police? Is there a police report? Is there dental records of her going to the dentist around that time? What exactly took place? We need those documents. I then stopped fighting back as I was in a lot of pain, Bailey said. Bailey includes photos of her tooth and bruises on her arms in her filing. In March, she said Granberry entered her house when she wasn't home and texted her a photo of her bed along with a threatening message suggesting she was having sex with another man. Now, if that's true, then DDG would be a weirdo for even leaving any info like that around, knowing that this stuff is going to get to social media. I don't get it. I really don't get how. First of all, we need proof of all these things. I hope she got documents of everything, because if he did any of this stuff, knowing that he's a YouTuber, he's a rapper, he's a this, that, all of this stuff is going to leak on social media. When you're an influencer, you got to be careful about everything you do, because there's always somebody waiting for you to fall. There's always somebody that's waiting for something to happen so they could take you down. So if he did these things, then he would be dumb. You know what I mean? And he would be too emotional. If she's having sex with somebody, dog, just let her go. It don't make no sense. You trying to fight over some woman because she out there cheating and doing it. So she made a choice, bro. You know what I mean? So it goes on and it says that, he left threatening messages suggesting she was having sex with other men. Not one man, other men. Now, it may be possible. It may be possible, guys, that Bailey could be possibly having sex with other guys. I mean, she's a woman. She got needs. She's not with him. So it's possibly that she might be messing around. When you start feeling yourself, you start growing, you know, you have other interests. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It happens, right? So that being said, it goes on and says a few days later, she said he berated her when she did not want to send their sick baby on a visit with him and smashed the Ring camera on her porch when he realized it was recording the confrontation. Wow, interesting. I guess she probably had video downloaded of that. So we might end up seeing this presented later on, guys. I don't know. Maybe it was released already. I don't know. But if she said that he had that he smashed the Ring camera, that means she got recordings. So if this is true, it's not looking good for DDG. It's not looking good, guys. So it goes on and it says he smashed the Ring camera on the porch when he realized it was recording the confrontation. She said when she called a relative for help, he took her phone and got in his car, slammed the door on her as she was holding the baby. Bailey filed a police report over the incident. So, man, so if she got paperwork on this, guys, hey, it's a wrap. Guys, if you're having domestic issues with your baby mama, don't let a paper trail get done on you, guys. You know what I mean? Because you're just messing this thing up for yourself. It's bad enough we got a lot of innocent black men that get dragged and they're unable to see their kids. But if you're doing dumb stuff, brothers, you're setting yourself up for failure. You can't be doing stuff like breaking Ring cameras. And again, this is all alleged because I don't know if he did it. I didn't see no Ring camera footage. If you got the footage, send it to my Instagram at Ringo TV Raw so we can air it out and talk about this, because we got to talk about all these issues, guys. So let's see what we got. So she says she filed a police report over the incident. So that's a good thing. I hope she filed police reports about her having her face slammed into the steering wheel, chipping her tooth. That must have been pretty hard if you chipped your tooth. I don't understand how your tooth chipped if you got your face slammed on a steering wheel. I don't know how that can happen. He must have kicked your face on a steering wheel in order for that to happen. I'm just saying, unless you had some sort of tooth that was already chipped and you had some sort of dental procedure to correct it and it chipped again, then I could say, okay. But I don't see how could the impact of that. I don't know. But hey, I digress. If she have paperwork on that, we need to see those documents too. Because we have a lot of accusations and allegations that are floating around social media. We need to know all the facts in the case. So let's see what we got. She also asked that Granberry be ordered to stop using his streaming platforms on Twitch and YouTube to turn his followers against her. Uh-oh. So she's basically trying to get a court order so that she could control his platforms. I think that's ridiculous because at the end of the day, people are going to choose sides. You know what I'm saying? People are going to pick who they want to follow. If it's his platform, they're going to rock with him regardless. So I don't think that he's putting anybody against her. If they rock with DDG, then they rock with him. They don't rock with you. So if they come to your platforms and they post comments, the best thing to do is just get off social media. But to try to get a order to have him stop using his platforms, you would have to prove that. You would have to prove that he have every right to talk about it. He have every right to talk about the fact that you put a restraining order, or if you're doing this, he have a right to use his platform for any of those things, just like you got the right to report on what he's doing. You're using CNN. You're using the media. So it's okay for you to use the media to drag him. It's okay for you to use the media and the courts to get restraining orders, but he can't use his social media to talk about you? That's crazy. She's trying to suppress and control this man. This man have every right to use his platform to talk about whatever he want to talk about because she's using major platforms to destroy him. And she's probably a narcissist for all we know, guys. I'm just saying, because narcissists normally want to control everything that you do. They want to control everything. It's okay for her to go out there and use the media to suppress him, drag him, make him out to be a monster. But if he goes on his platform and he's expressing his feelings about the situation or the unfairness of the situation, all of a sudden he's turning people against her? No, she is being a monster. She's being inconsiderate. You had a child together, young lady. And see, this is why it's so dangerous to have a child today with a woman. Because once she figure, well, I don't want to be with you no more, she take the kids, guys. So now your son, you can't see your son. And you got money. This brother is not broke. He can provide. But yet, look what he's going through, guys. What does this say? You can have all the money in the world and still go through drama. You can have all the money and still have drama, bro. Money don't erase drama. Drama gonna still come. No matter what you do, man. This is sick, man. Shout out to Mason for the $2. He says, and that's the reason why I don't believe her. Yeah, that's true. Because she's doing too much, man. She's doing too much. So let me get back to the content. She also asked that Granberry be ordered to stop using his streaming platforms on Twitch and YouTube to turn his followers against her. Whenever he wishes, this is a quote, whenever he wishes to cause upset, he starts bad-mouthing me to his several millions of fans. Woman, the man is already popular. The man is already lit on social media. What do you want him to do? This is how he earned his bread and butter. So now you're trying to sabotage the man's platforms now? How could you assume what he's doing to his 7 million fans? Those are his fans. You're going to the mainstream media who got access to millions of viewers. So what about you, hypocrite? So it's okay for you to publish all these stories in the news. It's okay for you to go to the courts. You know it's going to hit the airwaves and millions are going to see it. But all of a sudden now, it's a bad thing for DDG to go to his platforms to talk about you. Come on, man. That's sick. And I already knew you two were going to fail, but at this point, I thought that DDG was the bad guy. Listen, guys, if you go back to my videos, and I can be honest, guys, I can be honest with you, the viewers. I'm not a hypocrite. In my videos, I was assuming, and they tell you not to assume because you make an ASS out of yourself. But in my videos, guys, I was assuming that DDG was the problem. I was assuming that DDG was the Pookie. If you go back to my videos, I threw him under the bus and I was looking out for Bailey. I was like, well, you know, this young lady, she innocent, blah, blah, blah. But it come to find out she's the narcissist. Are y'all seeing this? This is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy, y'all. Like, it's just sick, man. Let me see what Sugar says. Sugar says, Halle is doing right. He's controlling and abusive. I think that what you're doing is projecting your own situation. Let's talk about you, because I know that you got to be a woman. Am I correct? The truth of the matter is you've been abused. Am I correct? Do you care to talk about your own internalized trauma with us, the viewers, please? At Sugar, could you tell us about the guy that abused you? Because you're projecting. Oh yeah, you've been abused. Oh yeah, definitely been abused. I could tell. Because you're saying that she's doing the right thing and you're happy she's standing up for herself. How could you be happy she's standing up for herself? So you got all the facts. You automatically know that DDG is guilty. You automatically know that, right? Yeah, of course you would call the cops immediately because that's what you do to men. You do that all the time. You have a history of calling cops. Am I correct? I know I am, right? I'm reading your mail, aren't I? Because here we have a man who expressed his issues on social media regarding these cases. And you got a lot of women, guys, just like Sugar. There's a lot of women that are happy about the situation, guys. And what's really serious about this, guys, you want to know the real truth? Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to tell you the truth, the real truth on why so many women are so happy that Halle is pretty much, or Haley, I didn't know. I didn't lost count of her. What is her name, man? Because it definitely sounds like Halle Bailey. You know what I mean? But let me give you the real scoop. The reason why a lot of women that are bitter are happy that Miss Bailey is doing what she's doing is because she don't have a relationship no more. That's why. She's single, miserable, and with a child. Just like the women that are happy. Trust me, guys, when I tell you misery loves company, women they love when other women leave their man and become a single mom, struggling. They get excited about that because now they're just like them. In other words, when Bailey was with DDG, these very same women were jealous of her because that's what they always wanted. They wanted a relationship and they were praying for her to fail. And now they're happy about it. So when you see women say stuff like, yeah, I'm so happy that she's standing up for herself. I'm just so happy about this. What they're basically saying is that the man is automatically guilty. So that means they're not using logic. They hate men. So to Sugar, you hate DDG. You automatically believe he's guilty because he's a man. And normally you feel that way because you've been abused by a man. You've been abused by a man. This is why when they put jurors on a case, they don't want people that been abused. You know why? You be biased. You'll be biased and you'll have favoritism. And when it comes to these type of cases, you can't have favoritism. You got to be fair and balanced like Ringo TV. Now, if you've been watching the broadcast, I publicly made it very clear. When I initially saw DDG with her, I thought that DDG was the bad guy. I thought he was just another Pookie taking advantage of a young lady. But now that I'm seeing the smoke clear, I realize who's the narcissist. Now, he might have issues. I ain't saying he perfect. I don't know the dude. He might got his ways, but let's be honest. Both of them got issues. You understand? Both of them. They both young. So again, for the court, I am not defending DDG as if though he's this flawless, perfect, good man. I don't know him. But what I'm saying is, let's not crucify him and just look at Bailey because she's pretty. Oh, she's so pretty. She's so cute. She could do no wrong. No. You ever heard of a devil in the red dress? Come on now. Even the Bible says that Satan was one of the most beautiful ever created by God. The Bible says that the devil was perfect in beauty. Look it up. It's in the Bible. If you were to see the devil, let me tell you something, guys. This might sound a little twisted, but I gotta tell you it straight. If you were to see the devil, if the devil were to appear to you, you would want to date the devil. The Bible says that the devil was perfect in beauty. Perfect in beauty. Now, why would it use beauty? Because even though the angel or the archangel Lucifer is comparable to a man or male, angels in and of itself is a whole different species. So for all we know, angelic beings look more feminine because it says perfect in beauty. Do you understand? The devil, the Bible says, is perfect in beauty. Beauty is only labeled towards a woman. Even the Bible says that beauty is vain. So if you were to see the devil, you'll be amazed. You'll be like, this can't be an evildoer. That's why people that get away with murder are normally very attractive. You understand? I recently seen a post on Instagram, and I'm going to do a video about that too, where you had a black woman, her mugshot went viral. And everybody was like, free the woman. She's so beautiful. She's so attractive. She's so cute. And I'm like, bro, she's a criminal. And everybody's saying to free her. So just because you look at Miss Bailey, don't think for a minute that she don't got evil ways. She could be very vindictive and argumentative and provoking a man to get a reaction. You understand? Got to be careful with that, guys. So let's get back to the content. Let's see where we at. So, Granberry was also ordered. Wait, we went ahead of ourselves. Okay. She also asked that Granberry be ordered to stop using his streaming platforms on Twitch and YouTube to turn his followers against her. Whenever he wishes to cause upset, he starts bad-mouthing me to his several millions of fans, she said in the documents. He claims I am withholding our son and that I am with other men. As a result, I then receive threats and hate on social media. So now she's assuming that she's receiving threats. Nobody's threatening her. She's just making that up to make it look like he's causing pain. This is social media. If you don't want to hear what people saying, why are you on social media? I always don't listen. I don't understand how people be complaining about, oh, I'm being attacked on social media. Well, get off social media. Why are you on social media? Why are you reading everything that people saying? You know they don't care about you. They not paying your bills. So why are you worried about people? They can't do nothing to you. Matter of fact, wherever Miss Bailey live, ain't nobody going to where you live. They can't even go there. You know what I'm saying? You live in a nice neighborhood. Ain't nobody coming in. Ain't nobody want no problems. They ain't doing all of that. So why are you worrying about that? You know? Shout out to Show Show in the building. Salute. I see you there. Floridine Rollo, what's going on? This is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what else we got. So, okay. So it says Granberry was also ordered not to possess any weapons. The judge can extend the order for up to 5 years at the June 6th hearing. So let me get this straight. You mean to tell me Granberry was also ordered not to possess any weapons? So you mean to tell me this man cannot possess a gun or any weapons? What? What kind of mess is this, y'all? And this is all because of a woman, guys. This is the power women have. That when you get with them, you have children, they can control your life, guys. Choose wisely. Choose wisely, guys. Yeah, they are emasculating him. They're taking him down little by little, man. It's sad. So he can't bear arms because of an order from a judge. And it could be extended. The judge can extend the order for up to 5 years at the June 6th hearing. So we know that's going to most likely happen. DDG from Pontiac, Michigan, first saw success as a video streamer and then as a hip hop artist on May 5th. He released his 4th studio album. I'm not really here for all of that stuff. I don't care about that. Let me see. I don't care about Bailey either. They're just giving a bunch of accolade stuff. I don't care. So yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good right now. This is not good. The man should have a right to see his son. And I'm sure a lot of you guys that are in situations like this, you have baby mama drama. Your baby mama don't want you around the kids. And it's like, it's frustrating, man. You go to these courts and they just keep favoring your woman, mama, whatever. And it's just sad, man. Ladies, stop judging men by how much money they got, because money is not making your relationship great. DDG is not broke. Miss Bailey is not broke. So why their relationship got so much problems? I thought when you get a man, he got to be 6 feet tall, make 6 figures, do this, do that. Okay, how is it that they got issues? Why they got issues? Why? Why they got problems in their relationship? Why? What's happening with their relationship? Is it money? Is it a lack of money? It's not a lack of money, you know? And this is sad, man. Absolutely sad. But hey, guys, we're going to do what we got to do, man. And no profanity in the chat. Keep all profanity at bay. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in here with the profanity. Be respectful of the chat. This is a place of business. It's a place where people can speak their mind, but you got to follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? If you at your workplace and you got other staff members and co-workers, you can't come in there and be like, hey, S-H-I-T this and this. You can't talk like that when you're at the job, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk like that. Now, there might be situations where you're around a certain supervisor and your supervisor might be cool and you might be able to get away with certain things. But when you're around certain people on the job, you know that you got to be respectful, right? So when you come in, just be respectful. We want you to share your thoughts and everything. And that's all it is. So appreciate everybody stopping by. I got to go take care of some business. We're going to be back later on with more content. Salute to Floridine Rollo for the support. Let me see. He says, Ringo, I guess you meant Ringo, I stated many times, once a man make $5K a week or more, plus $10K a month, you will see who your partner is. When he was broke, she wasn't a hassle. Yeah, that's right. And it's sad, man. It's really, really sad, man. You could be making money and then all of a sudden everything starts falling apart. And the real reason is, I'm going to tell you the real reason. The real reason why Miss Bailey is upset is because DDG is able to pull women. And if you notice, he been flaunting a lot of different chicks around on social media, and that stuff burns her up because she thought she was the only one. You know what I mean? We already talked about Chris Brown, guys. We already talked about that. You probably late to the party. You know what I mean? We already talked about that situation already. Y'all got to go back and watch the videos, man. A lot of y'all not getting the notifications. Y'all got to always check. Don't wait for a notification. You got to go check the live tab to see if I was live. Check the video tab to see if I upload it. You know, find out what's going on. But we're going to keep you updated with the Chris Brown situation because they're trying to take money out of him. But getting back to the situation with DDG, the reason why Bailey is upset is because he's got other women. You know what I mean? That's burning her up. She thought she was the bomb. She thought she was pretty. She thought she was the best looking. She thought that he would have no other need for no other woman. You know what I mean? But she got to recognize if you got with a guy and he's a social media influencer, if he's out here balling, you know what I'm saying, driving big cars, making big dollars, then as a woman, you got to recognize that he's a boss and he's going to pull women. He's going to have women around him. He's going to be doing interviews. He's going to have a lot of women chasing him around. That's normal. That comes with the game. You got to be prepared for that. She wasn't because she was young and naive and she thought that her looks will make DDG submit and be a dog and be a good old pet. But no, you can't control a man. Your beauty can't control a man. When a man got his money together as a woman, you can't control him. This is why I tell you brothers to hit the gym. That way your physical health is intact. You're going to feel better about yourself as a man. When you're physically fit, you feel better as a man. Just like when you're physically fit, you feel better as a woman. Nobody feel good about themselves when they're out of shape. You know what I mean? Nobody. Now, of course, you got a lot of people that might have issues with weight and they're good people, very happy, very energetic. Some people that are overweight have great personalities, very great personalities, very kind. But what I'm saying is when you're in shape, you do feel better about yourself. So you want to make sure that you're doing that as a man. And you want to make sure that you're focusing on getting your money right. You know, start to hustle, grind, work harder. Don't get lazy. Sometimes as men, we get tired, we get lazy, and that happens to me sometimes. I could admit that. See, guys, when you come to the platform, I tell you the truth. I'm just like you guys, man. I get tired. Sometimes I just feel like I don't want to do nothing. Sometimes I'm tired, bro. And sometimes you procrastinate and you wait too long and you do this and you do that. We can't allow ourselves to fall like that, bro. We got to stay active. We got to keep grinding, get ourselves together, get back on track. You know what I mean? Because when you're like that, you're empowered. You'll feel better about yourself, you know? And same thing with the ladies. Sometimes you procrastinate, you fall off. You gotta keep yourself active. That's great. It's good for your spirit, right? You said she not worried about him. He worried about her. I don't think he's worried about her. She's keeping his son from him. She is worried about him because that's why she's doing all the things she's doing. I don't see him making a restraining order. That's her. She's worried about him. I think you got it all wrong, sir. She's the one filing restraining orders. So she's worried about him. He's not doing that to her. You get it? She's making him out to be a monster to destroy his reputation in the public. When women do stuff like that, guys, see, here's the thing. As men, we got to stay on code because women stay on code all the time. It's us brothers who just don't stay on code. What exactly is she doing? She's messing with the bag. By her bringing out these allegations, it is designed to mess up the bag, mess up his endorsements or sponsorships or business opportunities. Because here's the thing. If you're being labeled as physically abusing a woman, verbally abusing a woman, putting hands on her, being physically violent, who's going to want to do business with you? Come on now, we see what's happening with the diddler. So it's very clear. No man want this jacket. Any man that get associated with beating a woman always end up losing money. And that's what she's doing. And some women don't care. Some women will ruin your career financially. Look what happened with, what's this woman? Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. She made a recent diss track about her baby daddy, bro. A diss track. What's her name, man? The one that was with Usher. The one that was, she was at the event and she turned around and showed Usher her assets. What's her name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Not Sexy Red. Not her. Yeah, Keke Palmer. Yeah, Keke Palmer. Yeah, Keke Palmer is the one I'm talking about. Where she tried to destroy her baby daddy. You know what I mean? Making him like he's a joke. It's crazy, man. And this is what Miss Bailey is doing to DDG. Trying to make it look like he's a stalker, abusive. It's the same old formula that women use, guys. Same old thing. Could you believe Keke, she made a diss track about her baby daddy and put it out there using some wordplay like Usher? I'm like, come on, man. She's provoking that man. She's using her platform to harass him, but nobody says nothing. You see the double standard? So it's okay for Keke Palmer to harass her baby daddy with her platform by using music and various other things to harass him. But if DDG used his platform to talk about the unfairness of his situation regarding Miss Bailey, all of a sudden he's a bad guy. You see the double standard? I'm telling you, man, it's just sick. Yeah, she made a diss track about him. It's out there. I'm supposed to talk. Listen, I told you guys there's a lot of videos I'm supposed to talk about. I just got a lot of work on my plate, man. A lot of stuff that I got to do. Look at how I'm working, guys. Y'all don't see me working right now? I did about 3 live streams already. And this is early. I did about 3 live shows, guys. So I'm trying to put content out there. I'm trying to get to work. There's a lot of stuff I got to do. Look, guys, I can make 20 live streams a day. This is easy for me. I like to talk. It's just that I got other responsibilities with the house, the family. I got a lot of things that I got to do. It's a lot of stuff. You know, some people, you see them on YouTube all day. I got other responsibilities that I got to take care of that's very important that I got to do behind the scenes. Just like you guys. You go to work, but you got other responsibilities. Some people think I'm going to be on YouTube all day. I got a family I got to take care of. I got things I got to do, you know? So, yeah, we're going to keep you posted on the situation with DDG and Miss Bailey because they're supposed to be a situation around June 6th. So I guess around June 6th, we'll look for an update to find out what's going on with their case. So we're going to be coming back later on. We got to talk about the Tory Lanez situation. We got to get back to talking about the Diddy situation too. We got a lot of news to talk about, guys. I have another video that I might do after this one in about 30 minutes or so. I might do that one too. And then I got to kind of take a break, take care of some business, and then come back on later on. So y'all take care. Appreciate everybody out there supporting the show. Without you guys, I cannot do this, guys. So I appreciate every one of you who pull up to the show. I'm the best content creator when it comes to reactions and commentary. I just don't get my credit, guys. So it's very important that you hit that like button. Very important. Got 200 people. Only 90 likes, guys. Y'all got to do better, man. Like, seriously. Y'all been doing me dirty lately, man. When you come into the show and you like the show, you got to click that like button. Don't hate on the show, man. Don't hate on the show because you may disagree with certain things I talk about. If you know I'm doing a good job, if you know I'm breaking things down the right way, don't hate on the work. Support the work. Because a lot of you be supporting content creators that are not good at what they do. They don't provide good commentary. They don't even know how to talk. When you listen to their videos, it's like they don't even sound right. They don't even know how to speak. And you busy supporting and sharing. And I'm like, what are you doing? Support good work, you know? So, hey, you have a blessed day. We'll catch you later on with more content. This is Ringo TV Reactions. Salute to the mods in the chat. Show Shao V Dub Man. Shout out to y'all. Have a blessed day. Drive safe on the road. Salute to Rollo in the building. Salute to all the members and all the viewers in the clouds. I'll catch you later on, guys. Rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Ringo TV Reaction salute you. It is what it is, guys. Y'all take care. Be safe. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut.